Calendars in Project define the days and times that people work. A project calendar defines the working and non-working time for your entire project. You can also create additional calendars to define other work schedules, like shifts that resources work. Let's start by creating a new blank project. In the Backstage view, I've clicked New to go to the New page, and then I'm going to click the blank project icon. I have my options set so that the project information dialog box appears automatically. And that's great because I can put in the start date for my project. Let's say it's January 6th, 2020. Notice that the calendar box says Standard. So that's the built-in standard calendar that comes with Microsoft Project. We're going to leave that for now. So go ahead and click OK to close the project information dialog box. Now we're going to create a new calendar. On the Project tab, click Change Working Time. That opens up the Change Working Time dialog box, and you can see that in the For Calendar box, it says Standard. So we're looking at the standard built-in calendar. After the name, it says Project Calendar, so you know that right now, this is the calendar for this project. We're going to go over to the right, though, and click Create New Calendar to create a new calendar for our company. That opens up the Create New Base Calendar dialog box, and it selects the text in the name box, so I can type in the name for my new calendar, and I'm going to call it Company Cal. You can create a new base calendar from scratch by selecting the Create a New Base Calendar option, but I think it's easier to just use Make a Copy of and pick the calendar you want. In this case, it's filled in with Standard, and I'm going to leave that. So go ahead and click OK. Now the box is filled in with Company Cal. We're going to start in the bottom half of the dialog box by clicking the Work Weeks tab. The entry in the table at this point is default, and the start and finish are set to NA. What this means is that the default work week is the work week that people work just week after week, and it applies to all dates. If you look at the top half of the dialog box, in the calendar, you can see that the white cells are the working days, and the shaded cells are non-work days. Over on the right, you can see the working times for the selected day. So here, the work days are 8 to 12 and 1 to 5. We're going to go ahead and change the default work week. To do that, I'm going to click the Details button on the right side of the dialog box. Then, in the Details For dialog box, I can select the day that I want to change. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to select Friday, and we're going to make that a non-work day. Woohoo! 3-day weekends. So I'm going to select the option Set Days to Non-Working Time. Now I want to change the work hours for Monday through Thursday. So I'm going to drag over those 4 days and choose the option Set Days to these specific working times. The only thing I'm going to change is that the day ends at 6 p.m. So I select the 2 cell in the second row and I'll type 6. And when I press enter, that changes it to 6 p.m. Let's click OK to close the Details For dialog box. Now the work week is going to be Monday through Thursday. You can see the white cells in the calendar, and Friday is now shaded. Also, we can see that we've got the hours 8 to 12 and 1 to 6. So let's go ahead and click OK to close the Change Working Time dialog box. The next thing I have to do is change the calendar options to match this calendar. Go to the File tab, and then on the left side, click Options. In the Project Options dialog box, select the Schedule category. Hours per day, hours per week, and days per month are settings that Project uses to convert duration into work hours. So these have to match our calendar. Well, we've changed the workday to a 9-hour workday, so I'm going to change hours per day to 9. But I only have 4 workdays in the week, so hours per week are 36 hours. And then days per month stay at 20. The other thing we're going to do is change the default end time to 6 p.m. Default start time and default end time will specify when tasks start or finish if they don't have predecessors or successors to define their start and end times. Now that we've set our options, go ahead and click OK to close the Project Options dialog box. Our last step is to set this as the project calendar. On the Project tab, I click Project Information. And in the Project Information dialog box, I'm going to go to the Calendar box, click the down arrow, and choose my new calendar, Company Cal. When I click OK, now I have a new project calendar. And that's how you set up a calendar to define working and non-working days and times, and assign it as a project calendar.